Hello, everyone. Welcome to, oh my God. Oh, now we're live. All right. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's right. And in this whole live stream, we're going to see how Venus that entered into Cancer is going to affect all of us and our star signs as well. And before we jump into all of the prediction and the forecast for the star signs, that is, let me explain you how this stream is going to work out for those that are new and for those that are going to watch it for the first time, that are going to watch a live stream with me for the first time. So in these live streams, I read for all 12 star signs, and I do breaks as well. In a sense of every 4 star signs, I make a break. And it is where the free reading takes place. There are going to be 3 free readings throughout every live stream that takes place. And as soon as I do announce a break, you get to ask your question into the comments of the live stream, and I pick one question and perform a professional reading on the question itself. So with that being said, guys, if you do want to catch me live, if you don't want to miss anything I do, and you want to keep up with the content I'm posting here weekly on the YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get yourself being notified. And if you do want a personal reading with me, or if you do want to take my tarot classes also, you can check out the description down below, and there you're going to find a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. And hello everybody who is joining in. And the first star sign that we are gonna read for, just hold on a second because somebody is bombarding me with a message. All right, so the first star sign that we're going to read for, that is going to be for Aries, as usual. So let me shuffle up and see what we got. And by the way, I do mess up the thumbnail a little bit. So the theme of the transit, it's a changing into a love status, I guess, and as well our private lives as well. It's kind of like it's kind of like a big unlock thing that is about to go on and about to blow up as well. In terms of tarot, though, this transit is represented by the Empress being attached to the Chariot card, and it's a really good time career-wise and love-wise as well. Especially if one say it's jobless, if one say it's it's single also. It's a pretty good transit where you can narrow your path up and truly make a very good decisions that will allow you to pretty much find what you're looking for and what you can sustain as well. Because one thing is to have something, another thing is to be able to sustain whatever you're about to have. So with that being said, jumping into Aries first, and the first card for Aries, this is going to be the Hierophant. Can you see the cards though? Because they are a little bit dark. Just hold on a second here. Yeah, okay, so you can see them. So the first one, that is to be the Hierophant, followed by the second card here, which stands as the Hangman. Moving next, that is going to be the Chariot. And the last card of the spread for you, we do have a Temperance. So this is going to be a very important transit for Aries, not just because the cards are very powerful, but as well they are also, all of them are major arcana. And so the how do you call it, the cycle is going to be faithful, probably. This is how you would want to call such an important thing. And Aries really gets to mobilize and push their things through, especially on the love and career front that it is about to take off for them throughout this period of time. And it's very important that at the start of the transit, which by the way happened yesterday, all right? So at the start of the transit, that Aries really sticks up to what they believe in, all right? So their belief system, it's the correct system for them. And it's very important that throughout this cycle, Aries truly takes the initiative moving forward. For what it seems, well, this is how it stands with those cards, guys. It's because we do have the hangman, I'm sorry, on the second position. That kind of gives a status, if I may say it that way, of one to think that things are going to resolve themselves on their own accord, which it's not going to happen. And if the predicaments or the plights that you are facing, Aries, are overwhelming, because we do have the Hierophant on the very first position, on the very prime of the reading right there, that really means that you can get a benevolent support to clear out your plights and your predicaments, not to mention that their resolution completely resides within the framework of what you already have at your disposal. So it's not going to be any difficult, or it's not going to pose any difficulties, I'm sorry, to pretty much fix and clear out your problems. And at the end here of the transit, you are going to find yourself at a quite balanced position, if I may say it that way. So if you are looking for a job, then you're going to find a pretty sustainable one throughout this transit. It is up to you though to catch it. And same thing reciprocates about relationship and love life as well. But the how can I say, the true name of the game for you Aries into the next 3 or 4 weeks is being determined, being motivated, and as well being tenacious also. For you will work best, or rather like you will overcome best those predicaments which looks to be an odds that you cannot handle, or rather like you are going to have triumphs, and those triumphs are going to be against the odds. And at the end, I want to say that if you do crave, to be with someone, if you do crave to do something as well, you can definitely prematurely jump into relationships and as well take jobs. And it's just that I'm not sure here that they are going to be the best fit if you do so. It is because, like I said at the start of the reading, your system of beliefs needs to take place and they need to be fulfilled, if I may say it that way. Right, so that was about Aries. Now moving next, we do have Taurus. Hello, Danny. Just hold on a second. Right, so Taurus, a first card for you guys that is going to be Judgment, followed by the second card, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the third card of your spread, that is going to be the Seven of Swords, and the last card for the transit for you, that is going to be the Strength card. So for Taurus, the transit will be a solo play for what it seems here, and that doesn't mean a solo play like being stranded, right, or by being all alone out there. It means, when I say solo play, I mean a play toward your own personal goal and toward your own personal agenda, not allowing yourself to follow someone else's, or rather like to contribute for someone else's growth if this does not contribute for your own growth. And that being said here, it's very common in those kind of transits for you, Taurus, or for anybody in that case, to change sides and as well to change interests also. And on a more drastic level, at some point you may decide, this isn't what I wanted, this isn't what I signed for, that is not what I want to follow, and I want to follow something different, something that it's way more interesting, it's way more lucrative, and it gives me way more freedom as well. But by doing so, you're not going to leave the situations just like that, right? You are going to do the necessary measures or the necessary actions out there in order to get what you have worked for, and then traverse into the new direction of your life, of your love, of your career, or of your over your relationship. You can look at this transit, Taurus, as a wake-up call, knowing which path to take from now on. For how the judgment stays, guys, it is like, at this point you may have been either into relationships or either into jobs or doing stuff in generally that have been out there with a great compromise. They are not exactly what you would want it to do for your entire life, but doing them, it's kind of like okay. But now as the Venus enters into Cancer, things change. I mean, right now you definitely know what you want to do with yourself, with your marriage, you know, with your love life, with your relationship as well. And that is how can I say, a new impulse that you're going to take off, and it will be a very, very powerful impulse. Now, at the start of that impulse, it will be a bit difficult to fit in, right? You are to be in some situations that you are not very used to, but towards the end of the cycle, you are going to be able to get the hang of it, because with the Strength card at the end, guys, it seems that you will be able to engrave in it or to incorporate into your endeavors and as well into your situations the right measures in the right attitude, if I may say it that way, the right approach out there. And whatever you are capable to build up, not just only for yourself, but as well for your family, for your career, it's going to appear to be at that point indomitable. Nobody will be able to take it away from you from there. Should you be looking for a job and should you be looking for a relationship, Taurus, great transit, guys, where you are going to be able to find, I would say, the right person and the right job for you. Bear in mind, though, that there are just more than one right person and more than one right job. So if you don't feel compelled to take them, you know, you totally don't have to. So moving next, we do have Gemini. All right, so for Gemini, the first card we do have for you guys, that is going to be the Moon card, followed by the Eight of Swords. The third card of your spread, that is going to be the Five of Wands. And the last card out there, that is going to be the Page of Cups. So we can definitely say here for Gemini, that's a huge change. It's looming on the horizon. That change is going to take place after this particular cycle. In fact, in this particular cycle, the exterior circumstances, things that does not depend on you in general, are going to start setting themselves up. And it's because you are going to be somewhat into the void, or if I may say that way, that the exterior is going to be a bit obscured for you. You may feel quite uncertain, quite insecure, you know, not knowing how, for example, your career is going to turn out, not knowing how your relationship is going to turn out, or how your love is going to turn out in general. But what is important to know from that reading, guys, is whatever is cooking up for you, okay, you are meant to go through, and you cannot avoid it. You may be able to postpone it in the future, but you cannot avoid it. You're just meant to live through such a situation. And according to these cards, it's going to be a really good situation. Now, what you can do here in order to make that transit much more easier for you, Gemini, it is taking on the opportunities that are presented to you. For what the tarot says here, it is that there are going to be a lot of surprising events that you are to be presented with. There are going to be a lot of stuff moving around, sudden turnarounds as well into situations, and it is a very good time, a very good transit for you to transform failures into success. And in fact, that these are the situations that are almost failing, that you should put the prime resources you do have in according to these tarot cards. And at the end of the transit, how you're going to find yourself at is being quite emotionally attached into something. Now, that could be a person, it could be a job as well. So, and that pretty much speaks that you are going to love what you do, or you're going to love whom you are with, right? And at that point, these minor details of the situation, you know, those trifles that are out there, they are not going to make any sense to you. They're not going to be a thing that is going to bother you. For the overview of what you are involved in is going to be so much more brighter, which is going to make you make a, how can I say it, self-analysis, self-assessment, crucial analysis of your own positions and how you do live your life, how you do your career, and how you are to chase your career as well. And at the end, it seems that you are going to be able to adopt the right position in order to face that great change that is looming on the horizon for you. Thank you, Sonia. I'm glad you liked it. By the way, the Aries and the Taurus readings, they were really, really tough readings, right? I mean, I'm really glad that you liked it. Especially the Aries one was quite a tough reading, to be fair. Right, so next one, that is going to be Cancer. And the first card for Cancer, we do have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Swords. Moving next, what we do have for Cancer, that is going to be Seven of Pentacles. And the last card for a Cancer, that is going to be the Hermit. So a pretty interesting one here for Cancer. And that is because right off the back from the start of this transit, Cancer are going to find themselves being quite devoted into a thing. For example, that devotion could be about you finding yourself a partner in life. That devotion could be as well being lucrative into career. It's a grand scheme of a devotion. And this devotion, pretty much it's doomed to succeed. That is because, for what it seems, you Cancer, throughout this transit, you will be able to address every single minor detail of it. Not just only address it like for the sake of addressing it, but as well address it with a huge amount of conscientiousness. And another thing that is going to be very pronounced for you from these cards, it is that you gotta ask yourself, guys, what have you planned for a long time? For whatever you have planned for a long time, that plan is going to start manifesting itself throughout the time of that transit. Now, the only thing that can be seen bothersome here, it is that you may look at some actions that you will have to take as very bold, very risky, and very fearful actions as well. And it's very important that you do overcome that fear of doing something. So do not allow the fear to petrify you and to leave you, say, helpless into a certain situation, not being allowed to say what you do have in mind, not being allowed to act the way you think it's best for you to act. And the good thing about the transit here, it is that you are going to focus only on the things that truly make sense and that have a worth. That is very important. Whatever you are to happen to invest more than you actually are going to get, you, for one or another reason, will not going to invest in it. So you are going to shield yourself prematurely here of jumping into wrong relationships, dealing with the wrong people, starting the wrong job, or starting the wrong projects as well. And generally, all of your investments, for what it seems, are going to be returned at the end of the cycle and continuously into the future as well. And at the end of the transit here, right before Venus jumps into Leo, it seems that you are going to find a thing of a great worth, a thing of a great value for yourself, which is going to define somewhat of a creed, somewhat of a direction that you're going to take. So it will be very different from the ideas of the world and the ideas of others. It's going to be something sacred for you, right? And it will be found through intelligence and wisdom, right? And it will define a new direction that you're going to take, a direction that not everybody is going to applaud you for it, but at the end you are to find yourself being convinced that that is the right path for you, and it is, guys, the right path for you. Hello, Diana. Yes, she is. She is here tonight. Right, so that was the first 4 star signs, guys. Now you get to ask your question for the first free reading, and you can do so into the comment of the live stream. I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to input your question, and I'm going to pick one question at the end. of these 3 minutes that I'm going to perform a free reading on it. And of course, if you do enjoy my work, if you do enjoy the live streams as well, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you being notified, you know, when I am to go live and when the weekly content is released on the YouTube channel. So how are the things going in your countries, guys? Is the quarantine losing up? Because here is pretty much losing up, and I do hope that we don't have a third wave or a fourth wave. Or I already lost count how many waves of that virus we had. Hello, Margot. That's great that there are no masks. There are no masks out there. Here, pretty much, we are bound to wear masks in the groceries, in the public transport, of course, into the bank offices as well. But pretty much everywhere else, it's masks free. So yeah. Well, Diana, I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, whoever thinks that you can work out wearing a mask, I would say that that person is insane. I would say that that person never had a day of a workout in their lives. You just literally cannot do a workout with a mask. You are gonna harm yourself more than help yourself doing workout with a mask. Right, so the question that is submitted, I'm going to pick up, it's by the Diamond Mind, and the question is, will I be financially self-sufficient soon? So let's have a look. Diamond Mind, let's see. Are you going to be, and when that it is to take place? So the first card, it is the Nine of Wands, and that is really a good sign for such a question, followed by the Sun card. Moving next, we do have the High Priestess, and the last card for you, and for your question, that is going to be the King of Pentacles. Self-sufficient entirely, let me give you a time frame. At least up until by the end of September this year, not all right. But I do think, looking at those cards here, is that you're going to take some of the edge off, all right? You're going to start making some more personal independence when it comes to finances and being self-sufficient. But no, I mean entirely self-sufficient until at least that time, end of September this year, not likely. Let's check on the next year, the year after that, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. Up until 4 years from now, you are going to be financially independent. At least according to my cards, the earliest 2023, right? 2022, You might have a little bit bigger personal independence, but 2023 from there, the thing for you really is going to take off. Right, so that was the pre-reading, and now just a minute, guys, and moving to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. My personal favorite, that is because I am Scorpio. No, nothing personal, guys. It's just, you know, when I do read Scorpio, it feels like I do read for myself. Hello, Tanya. German cyber attack? First time hearing that. Truly first time hearing for German cyber attacks. Right, so let's move to Leo. Well, Margot, you should consult yourself with astrologer. Pisces moon being fantastic one. I mean, you can search for services to know about Venus and natal charts and all that. I myself am not an astrologer, so I do suspect that it's going to have some kind of a relevance to how successful you are and, you know, in generally how well you feel, but I cannot say for sure. Right, so Leo, first one that we do have for you guys, that is going to be 3 of Swords. Moving next, we do have the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Wands, and the last one here that stands, we have the 5 of Swords. Right, so these 4 cards. And for what it seems here for Leo, it is that they, oh my God, how can I say it? Well, Leo, this is what the cycle boils down to for you people. It's like at some point finding yourself truly your back against the wall, being overwhelmed with almost everything, you know, that you can think of. And at the moment that you think that's, you know, it's just the knife is touching the bone, it seems that things are going to work out for you miraculously here for what we can see. So let's talk about the bad stuff first. Well, bad stuff is that there are some undermining circumstances that you are not aware of. You know, things that you have either overlooked or that have been kept secret from you and you are not aware of. And these things exactly are what are going to put you with your back against the wall. Now, the worst is that probably those undermining circumstances are to be performed by people that you very much trust, or at the very least, you never expected that these people were going to do what they are about to do. However, instead of gouging your eyes out, for what it seems, they are going to pretty much make up your eyelashes. That is an expression in my country, and pretty much means that whenever somebody tries to hurt you, they actually make you a favor. And this is what we do have here for you, and that is because at the end of this transit, actually you're going to find yourself with the upper hand on top of these people. You're going to, how can I say, you're going to have the power. Right? It's literally you're going to have the power, and it will be very tempting for you to truly misuse that power. But what you need to focus yourself upon throughout the transit itself is a gaining for enterprises that are a different from what you are chasing and follow now, right? So it's kind of like moving in a zigzag style, if I may say it that way. So the arrows that are meant for you kind of like misses you, but truly here it seems that you are going to have some antagonists that are against you, and as much as you may want to do right now throughout the transit to overcome them, best you can do is to dodge the bullets. And then at the end of the transit, you are going to have the power to deal with whomever is out there standing against you. For now, you just have to, swallow the situation and just move forward. Important thing is that do not allow being caught off guard, mentally, to pretty much slow down your progress, or just to slow down your esteem. That is because this is going to provoke rather very nasty feelings within, and those feelings are gonna pretty much petrify you or dismantle you the way you want to see it, not being able to do anything at all. And you definitely don't want that. There are gainful enterprises for you here, Leo. They are just not what you have planned to be, right? So having an open mind, it's going to reward you a big time throughout the transit, and that is how that deep change into your personal and private life is going to take place here. At the end, like I said, you are to be rewarded with power. How you are to use that power, well, that depends entirely on you. But the one and only lesson that you are bound, or rather like entitled to learn here, it is that not everyone is worthy for your trust, and therefore here learning that lesson, it's highly unlikely moving forward into the future, or it's more unlikely moving forward into the future to place your trust into the wrong people moving forward. So moving next, we do have Virgo. And by the way, it's Mercury retrograde, isn't it? Let me check. I think it's Mercury retrograde. These readings, man, they are coming hard. Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde. Why would I even ask? No, man, I hate doing readings due, general readings, that is, due Mercury retrograde. They are so difficult. The cards are so difficult to read. Right, so Virgo, first one for you, we do have Two of Pentacles. Moving next, we do have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I just saw that Pisces Moonbeam. It's that's why it's so difficult to read. I like to express it. I do know the message, just translating it to you guys, it's the difficult part of it. So afterwards, we do have the Eight of Wands, followed by the Star card. And the last one that we do have, that is going to be the Queen of Swords, like that. Just hold on a second to take that thing off, because I'm really boiling up inside. Yeah, me too. I really hope that Scorpio does have a great reading. Oh, now better. Okay, so Virgo, those cards. Well, I'm going to say it that way, nothing new on the horizon, okay? It's just nothing new on the horizon. That is because you do have all you need around you, okay? You may not realize it right now, but you definitely do have all around you in order to, say, excel into career and as well develop an unfolding love moving forward in terms of relationship. And yeah, it's about developing here into this transit, Venus into Cancer. That is because the potential is to unfold for years to come for whatever you start throughout the next few weeks here, guys. Now, important thing for you, Virgo, is not to gamble. Just stick to what you know to be true. Random chances are not a chances that you do want to take at all. Now, how can I say, the key here, or rather like the jack of the trade for you, is to be adaptable. There are some concepts and some beliefs that you carry on which happens to be outdated. And just because they are outdated, that is the main predicament why things may not work out for you, either in terms of career or either in terms of relationship. And those ideas, those goals, those concepts in generally, you do need to let go of and replace them with ideas, concepts, and as well, what was the word? Perspectives, which are more in line, in tune with what is going on around you right now. And what this is going to allow you to do is to see how much time you actually can fill up with so many more additional stuff that you do have laying around. They are not new for you, but by now you seldom found the time to pretty much attend to them. But now, as you do change your concepts, you do change your ideas, you're going to have a lot more time to fill in with stuff you want to do, you like to do, and stuff that you do find either lucrative, makes sense, and generally valuable. And by doing so, this is going to be the end of your turmoilish era, if I may say it that way. And from there, you can start working on building up your life, your love, your career, according to your ideals, your standards, and your vision. And at the end, guys, you are going to become so powerful that whatever stands your way, you're simply going to be able to push it through. You're going to become so adaptable that you literally will be able to make something out of nothing. It's so productive. You will become so productive at the end. Yeah, words have power. That's true. But the main points of the end of your transit here, Virgo, is to pretty much how can I say, instead of making, say, excuses that you don't have this and that in order to perform something, you do perform it despite what you lack. And that is going to make you very valuable asset, very compatible person, very competable person as well, and in generally a person of a high demand. Now, moving next, we do have Libra. Just hold on a second. Right, so Libra, first one for you guys, we do have the Tower. Just don't freak out, right? Tower is not a bad card at all. Followed by the Ten of Pentacles, okay? Moving next, we do have the Queen of Wands. And the last card for you, that is going to be the Five of Cups. So for Libra, just it's pretty obvious that there is going to be a major transformation that Libra are going to go through. And that transformation, because the Tower is the prime card here that we do have, the transformation through the Tower card, it usually manifests through rather unpleasant symptoms, unfortunate circumstances, and so on and so forth. Now let's explain though, what is the reason behind, because bad things, or rather like unpleasant things, they do happen for a reason. So the reason that the Tower takes place is so you can grow. It's no different than, say, you have built a house and you build it such a way that cannot be expanded anymore. You want an expansion, but you build it in such a way that you can't. And suddenly the nature throws up some kind of a tornado or earthquake or whatever, and brings down a couple of walls. And now you do see that as those walls fell down, now you do have a room to expand. And that is how the Tower manifests. It throws you into circumstances you have not expected at all right? And they mess up with your plans severely. It's nothing you wanted to go through. But by going through it, you actually grow and you actually make your life much more wider and much more, how can I say, and much bigger. I would say it that way, and much bigger. And ultimately, at the end, it's going to have a cleansing and nurturing effect on your life. Now, that is not even the problem with the cycle, or rather like the unpleasant stuff with the cycle. The unpleasant stuff with the cycle is that you are going to depend on somebody, and as well that it's not going to be a peaceful one. There will be always something that is going to create tension and pressure on top of you. Now, the good stuff, it is the whom you are going to depend to. That is going to be this person here, Queen of Wands. And depending on this person is actually not going to destroy you in any way or take away from you. Just on the contrary, this person is very aware of your personal nature, and they will be able to guide you. If they are, for example, your supervisor, they are going to assign you on a task that you are going to be most productive at. So that's a person who just has a best interest for you, because you are actually a part of their success as well, a part of their agenda, a part of their life in any way. And also together you can have a really, really good time as well, because this Queen of Wands, they do enjoy to how can I say, to have an active life, to pretty much celebrate and go to party, have a beverages and these kind of stuff. However, at the end, you are to be convinced here, Libra, that you are actually moving on a path of growth. Although here, as we can see from the Five of Cups, things haven't get any better, all right? Or rather, like they are not exponentially better, but now you are seeing the glimmers of hope, or rather like you are seeing the glimmers of a growth. So unfortunately, it's a rough cycle for you. It's a rough transit. And bear in mind that that is just a one aspect that what is going on into the sky. You may have from the other side, all other transits that are actually being very fruitful, very productive for you. So you may not even feel this one. This one may be shade off from a much more positive transit out there. So moving next, we do have Scorpio. Right, so first one for Scorpio, that is going to be the Knight of Cups, followed by the second one, which stands as the Nine of Pentacles. Furthermore, what we do have, that is going to be the Knight of Swords, and the last one for us, Scorpio, that is going to be the Death card. Okay, so just like that. Just hold on a second. All right, so Scorpio, we have an expression in our country, but the cycle for us, Venus into Cancer, it's all about maintenance. Unfortunately, this isn't what I hoped to look at, but it's all about maintenance, and it's all about hard work. It's all about sustenance as well. So I guess it's very good and helpful cycle, or rather like a transit, for those which are having a great job, for those which are having a great ways, for those which are having great relationships as well, to just maintain and sustain these things, not allowing them to deteriorate in any way. However, if we do hope that throughout this transit we are going to make a big hit, I don't think that this is going to happen throughout the transit. This is going to happen at the end of the transit, all right? Not throughout the transit, but at the end of the transit, which made me very curious how long this transit is. Just hold on a second. Let's have a look. I know that it's a fast one, but all right. So it's up until 27th of June, not that long, right? So the real change here into our lives truly happens at the end of the transit, which is at the 27th of June. So how this change manifests? Well, the death works like I'm always saying, and even into my tarot classes, through a substitution. An aspect, say a relationship, say a project, say a business endeavor, say a job, that pretty much cannot offer us anything more walks away. It's simply swallowed by the world, and we are to be presented with room that a new place is going to take place there. Oh my God. Yeah, so a new thing is going to take place there. And let me find the card into from the traditional deck so I can explain you a little bit more, because many people got scared from the death card, and it's actually a really, really good card. Just hold on a second. All right, so this is the death card. And so what you can see here is that the death, which is actually the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, came about, and it killed, or rather like is about to take away an emperor who died, right? Right in the feet of the horse. But the thing is that there is a new emperor taking its place, so the empire literally stays. Okay, and that being said, we are about to excel. The death as a substitution works like you excelling into a new endeavor that replaces an old one which cannot be developed any further. The sentimental value of it, though, could stay out there, okay, and therefore we may feel a bit disgruntled of what is going on as well. We may feel a bit, how can I say, sad about it. But at the end of the day, the growth is more important than that. And the good thing here, or rather like the helpful side of the cycle, it is that this person is going to encourage us through it. It is because this person is going to serve the Knight of Swords. Okay, that person is going to serve as a bridge through our the bridge in between our decisions and as well our emotions. So in other words, this person is always going to make us make the right choice for us, a choice that we are not going to have any regret about, and that we are not going to pretty much how can I say, being feeling sorry about that we had to make that decision or we had to make that action. It's a great person that we can always find a counsel with, we can always find a guidance with. But just because we do have the Nine of Pentacles into the second position of the spread, that pretty much means that a huge jump and a leap into development, into growth, it's highly unlikely that is to happen here into throughout the transit. Thank God that at the end of the transit, though, things are about to change. Okay, so literally this is the message. Things there will be no progress, but things are about to change, which is all I wanted to see. Okay. So, yeah, that was about Scorpio. Now, the second break is going to take place, and you get to ask your question once more into the comments down below. And in about 3 minutes, I'm going to pick a question, and we'll perform a professional reading on the question itself. And if you do enjoy these live streams and you want to catch me live from the very beginning next time, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get yourself notified about them when I'm about to go live. And also you stay tuned as well for the weekly uploads that are taking place, the weekly tarot readings for all 12 star signs, so you keep yourself being forewarned for the next week. For being forewarned means being forearmed as well. Yeah, the Emperor, it represents Aries. The Emperor, it's true, it truly represents Aries. I don't know what is going on. Why it's so difficult to pronounce words today? Wow. Do I have a favorite tarot deck? No. The truth is I don't. I use colorful tarot decks when I do live streams, when I do as well my weekly readings, REM. But for a personal and private readings, I do use only Rider-Waite. Versions of Rider-Waite, for example, this is the Radiant Rider-Waite here. I do have as well universal Rider-Waite. I don't have the traditional Rider-Waite though, because they are very ugly. They don't catch my eye. I don't like them. You're welcome, Gladius. Tanita, I cannot make a decision for you. This isn't what tarot reading is all about. I mean, tarot is not meant to make decisions for you, so I cannot tell you which directions you should move in. Thank you, Diana. Well, I am slacking on the daily readings. I have to admit, I am slacking on the daily readings, but at some point, you know, you do realize that you are just a person, you're just a man or a woman, you're just a human being, and, you know, you can't do everything. You know, you can do just so much. So whenever I do have time and whenever I, you know, feel up to it as well, I do it. Whenever I don't, because truth is that today I overslept. Okay, I just couldn't catch enough sleep from the previous day, so I overslept. And when I woke up, it was the way it was off started long time ago. So no point of making it. Right, so the question is submitted here by Robin, and it is studying to be a death dharma is a good path for me. So let's have a look, Robin. You're welcome, Diana. So we do have the Page of Wands, catalyzed from one side by the Six of Cups, and by the other side that is going to be with the Three of Pentacles. So Robin, it's definitely a valid path, or a available path, or I don't know how to say it. Yeah, I would say it that way. It's definitely a valid path, all right? But it is not a life required path, okay? You can definitely do very well without studying this thing, whatever it is, death dharma. And on top of it, by studying it, you are to encounter some principles, okay, some teachings as well, some kind of an aspects of it that you are not going to be very agreeing with. They will seem straight away wrong to you, okay? And it will be quite difficult for you to enjoy the whole process or a certain portion of the process of that studying, of that teaching. And all in all, at the end, we will allow you to become much more stronger than you are on your own accord. So we will allow you to tap in even bigger, even greater, or in even a greater way into your personal strength. But is it necessary for your growth? No, it's not. Okay, so ultimately you decide, do you want to follow that death dharma or whatever it is or not? If you, I would say here that if you do have a lot of extra time, you know, and you are wondering how to fill in that time, then go ahead and do it. But if that is something that you have to go out of your way from something else in order to study that thing, then I don't think it's a good option. But that is just only my thought. By all means, if you do decide to follow it, then just go ahead and do it. So yeah, there will be one more free reading that is going to take place at the end of the live stream, guys. So if you do want to have your free reading, make sure you do stay up until the end. And yeah, what is death dharma? What is that? Just a minute, guys. We are moving to the last 4 star signs, which are going to be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and at the end, Pisces. By the way, Pisces Moonbeam, do you want to pick up the last question? Let's make it a tradition. Huh? What do you say? Oh, you're welcome, Robin. Helping people to transition to the next life. You're welcome. You're welcome, don't worry. Right, so, because the last one is really difficult for me, I'm trying to cover up a different topic so I don't get redundant, right? So one is about love, the other is about career, and then with the third one, I'm a bit struggling, which one should I take? So, yeah, I mean, you can definitely take the last question. Oh, okay. Right, so Sagittarius, first one we do have the Knight of Swords for you guys, followed by the Empress card. Moving next, we do have the Knights of Wands, and the last one for you, that is going to be the Queen of Wands. Oh my God. I mean, maybe Pisces Moonbeam can enlighten us here, but to me, from what I saw in the cards thus far, that kind of looks a bit difficult transit, and it's going to be a difficult transit for all of us, for what it seems. And for Sagittarius particularly, it's going to be rather quite difficult for them to find themselves in a comfortable and peaceful place after they make one or another decision. The decision, yeah, because decisions is the topic of the cycle for you. So this is how it stands for you, Sagittarius. There are going to be a lots of enterprises that are to come your way, and you will have to make snap decisions here and there. Which one you want to involve yourself into? For example, which person you want to go on a date tonight, and which person to burn out. Now, the real issue for you is that you are not going to have the usual time to think about it before you do make your decision, because you would want, in a normal circumstances, to make a well-informed, well-balanced, and even mature decision about what you are to do with your career, with your relationship as well, or with your life in terms of intimacy. But here, you are not going to have the luxury to make the time, right, or to have that time. It's just you won't be able to withdraw from the situation and scale up the pros and the cons in peace. Instead, you will have to make snap decisions into the next 4 weeks about, like I said, whom you are to date, should you date that person or not, and so on and so forth. Now, the good thing about the whole stuff is that whatever you decide in favor of, you will reciprocate in emotions, meaning that you will lean toward deciding in favor of what you feel it's right, and as well what you like. And ultimately, at the end, regardless of how these decision makings are going to turn out for you, you ain't going to have any regret whatsoever. However, one of or a few of those decisions are going to happen to be very successful business maneuvers, right? Or very successful impression making kind of like moves that are truly going to catch the attention of one or another person. Because the card we do have at the end, it's very prominent and it's very powerful when it comes to either career or when it comes to either relationship. When it comes to either career, yeah, I got distracted a bit. So when it comes to career, the last card pretty much signifies that you are going to make huge or a very successful use of your astute business sense and make very accurate business decisions about yourself, about your business, and about your career. And when it comes to relationship here, Sagittarius, the card means that you are going to be quite desirable of a people, not just only of one person, but of a people. You're going to be like in the center of the universe, into the center of the company, and everyone will try to catch your attention, to win your, how can I say, yeah, to win your attitude, and in general, you know, to be around you. So it's how can I say, the finish of this cycle, it's really good. It's just throughout the transit itself, you are to feel that tension, that pressure that you will have to make up your mind right there. All right, so moving next, we do have a Capricorn. Yeah, that's true, Robin. Right, so Capricorn, a first one, we do have the World. Yeah. Um, the second one, that is going to be the Queen of Pentacles. Moving next, that is going to be the Hangman. And the last one here for Capricorn, that is going to be the Strength. Wow, all right. So the first very concrete and exact message from the cards about Capricorn. Just give me a moment to take a sip. Man, that is going to be an easy one. Because this live stream, guys, that ride we had in readings really made me sweat about it. I mean, it was very difficult by now, at least. Look at the nickname of the spammer, Internet Tough Guy. I mean, what in the world? 911. It's like the emergency guy. Right, so for a Capricorn, throughout this transit and right at the start of the transit, you will very quickly grow to understand that a big part of your life that you had kept open by that point, it's pretty much closed. Oh my God, we have it again. It pretty much comes to an end. It's closed, and as much as you would want to have some kind of potential out there to develop it even further, you know, even though you may hope that there is some kind of a way to keep up with it, it turns out that that's not the case. It will turn out that this isn't something that you could keep up, that you can borrow its time moving forward. And so the transit itself of these 4 weeks are going to be more inactive for you. It's literally, you know, they are going to be as peaceful as you may think they are going to be. I am nice for Capricorns, Rem. Yeah, I know. So it's just, you know, I just don't get those people. But in any case, thank you, Pisces Moonbeam. So what boils down to for you, Capricorn, it is that when you do see that grand thing for you, you know, it could be a grand love, it could be a grand project, or it could be in generally a grand goal. I'd say it finally wraps up, and you can't do much about it anymore. In fact, you cannot do anything about it anymore. You may throw yourself looking frantically for a new direction, looking frantically for a new goal, for a new perspective. Worst thing you can do, okay? What you need to do here, Capricorn, is just sit tight, quiet, observant, because the new perspective, it's pretty much going to become obvious for you on its own accord. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to seek for it. You don't have to provoke it at all, right? You just have to sit tight, and the right thing for you to chase, to do, to perform, to be with is going to become obvious for you. And as it becomes obvious to you, you will immediately going to recognize it out there, to a point that nobody or nothing in this world will be in any shape or a form to convince you out of it. It's simply, you will immediately recognize that that is yours, and that is the thing you have to be with. That is the person you have to be with. That is the job you gotta work. That is the house you gotta live in, and so on and so forth. But again, it's going to become obvious for you. So stop pushing yourself, because once I have been told, and that is very, very true, that, you know, when you do want something, if you have to push it, you know, at the end, most likely is going to be a shade. So that is something that, how can I say, it's in a full strength in your transit. You know, Barbara, or Bora Bora, I thought that these people were only into Facebook, but apparently, you know, YouTube have their fair share as well. She got one? That's great, Ginger. That's great. Right, so next one we do have Aquarius, and the first one for Aquarius, that is going to be the Five of Pentacles, followed by the Knight of Swords. Moving next, what we do have, that is going to be the Page of Swords, and the last one, guys, we have the World. So these four cards, it's a pretty clear message for them as well. Just hold on a second. Well, Maruka, mine are a tea and a coffee. I do have a blueberry tea and a dark coffee as well. This is how I like my coffee. I like it dark. I hate putting into it a sugar and a cream, right? I just love it dark one. Do you think so? I've always thought to myself, you know, what are these people gaining out of it? Right, so for Aquarius, it's well, the transit is not going to be easy on you guys. That is because throughout it, you are going to really have a very, very rough time finding a way to deal with stuff. And that will be, for the most part, all within your head. That is because it seems that you are going to way more overthink the problem, the issue, or the way through in general than it deserves to be think about or to be taught about. So overthinking here, it is the worst enemy you can have. Now, good for you though, it is because throughout the transit itself, you are going to receive a very unexpected, I was about to say unpredicted, but it's unexpected help from a person, an individual that has a very unique view and very unique way of thinking about situations and thinking about, how can I say, in generally thinking about predicaments. And through the guidance, or rather like through the advice, through listening to this person, it doesn't have to be a direct intervention. It could be just an example, right? That person may just serve as an example to you. You are going to mobilize, and that is all you got to do here, because the source of feeling uncertain, and I will try to explain you what I mean under uncertain. For example, throughout this transit, you may think that your job is in jeopardy, that you may be kicked off job. You may think that your partner, for example, your husband or your wife, wants to leave you, because you are to encounter some, like I said, predicaments, and they're going to be very mundane stuff, but there are going to be a lot of them. And this is what you have to look at, those stuff. They are mundane, they are trifles, and all you got to do is just mobilize, right, and just resolve them. But what this is really going to make you do is to question your lifestyle, to question how you deal with your love life. For example, how you are looking for a person. Are you looking for a person in general? Because mind you, if you are not looking for love, love isn't looking for you either. I mean, nobody is going to come and knock on your door, for example, saying that the universe guide them to you. No, I mean, if you do want love, you got to go out and look for it. Same thing about job. You want to work, you're jobless, you got to go out and look for a job. So you're going to start questioning your ways, your lifestyle, and in generally how you deal with life. And that will allow you to change a lot of dysfunctional, I would say, how can I say, criterias, dysfunctional as well, performances, dysfunctional perspectives of yours with a very, very functional ones, to a point where at the end of this transit, you will be able to get a lot of things done and get out of the way, pretty much ruled out. And this is exactly the time, Aquarius, that this perspective you have waited so for quite a long time, it comes about, because the world, it could signify that you have found finally found love. The world as well could signify that you have finally found a good job as well, and from there the perspectives keep up. The new perspective being in relationship, being in career. The world pretty much points that you are going to reach a peak of experience, right? A big culmination of stuff, and from there life moves on to the next thing going forward. But in generally, until you reach that point, you have a lot of things to do, and that is about to stabilize your positions in terms of career and in terms of relationship. Giving, how can I say, not an example, but making up on excuses why you should not contribute for improving it, that is out of the question. Right, and last but not least, we do have a Pisces. Thank you, guys. Right, so Pisces, first one we have, that is going to be the Death card. Moving next, we have a Judgment. What in the world? Right, so next one, that is going to be Judgment, followed by the King of Cups. Now that does make sense, right? Now that does make sense. And the last one, that is going to be the Fool. So it's a pretty easy one. I do think, guys, that you are to be a victim of being explained in love, all right? It's pretty much someone that is like into the fairy tales. I believe that somebody is going to pretty much Neo being brought on its knees, and divulge their true emotions and true feelings to you. Pretty much for a Pisces, they are going to get a very tempting offer, and that offer, it's related to the water element, and water element is all about emotions. So if it is not about being divulged in love, all right, you Pisces are gonna freaking love the offer, all right? You don't even have to think about it. What are the impression, or kind of like what expression I have about those offers? You barely could be, you were barely able to pretty much get me on board. You almost made it, right? You barely were able to make it. So Yeah, it's gonna be that good, guys. And I said, what in the world? It is because the death card and the judgment card into these positions, those two, they didn't really make much sense. But with the other cards that came about, they do make sense because you already know the guy or the woman. Okay, you already know them, and that thing was cooking up. So it's not something new for you. It's not like a gift or anything. It is just, you know, you totally deserve it. And that offer should come within the next within the next 4 weeks. This offer is going to change your life, needless to say here. With the death card, it's going to give you what you lack, in a sense of that if you do lack love, it's going to be about love. If you do lack career, it's going to be about career. It's going to force your new beginning, and in generally is going to make your life one whole. You can't hope for anything better than that. And that is pretty much the reading for the Pisces. The last thing I'm going to say about Pisces is that, and I'm sorry for my expression, guys, but if you do turn out that offer, I'm not going to say it, okay? If you do turn out that offer, you are the only one who gets blamed for that. Their life may end up being miserable. This is an offer that there is no reason, no argument, or in generally no circumstance that you should turn it down. Okay, just there is no reason for you to turn it down at all. So that being said, that was about Pisces, and now the last free reading is going to take place. So you get to put your question into the comments down below, and Pisces Moonbeam is going to pick one. Yeah, guys, type them in. By the way, I want to thank you to all of you for your support. That excludes the spammers out there, the trolls. But I do wish to thank you to all of you for your support. You have no idea how much this means to me. You literally have no idea. Your father is from Sofia, so he's a Bulgarian. This always warms my heart. I mean, when I do hear that, you know, somebody has some relations to Bulgaria, it's just, I'm very proud of being Bulgarian. I'm sorry if that sounds a bit cocky. So you are a half Bulgarian. Do you know Bulgarian? Nah, there are more beautiful places. Can I say our country is not very famous for its beautiful sightseeing, especially the cities. They are pretty ugly. I mean, the cities. All right. So very little. All right. Thank you so much, Seda. Well, you are able to write Cyrillic words in Latin, which is an accomplishment on its own. You're welcome, Maruka. Let's have a look. Well, it kind of qualifies and it kind of doesn't, because what Ginger asks is if I'm going to make a decision for her. So what I can tell her from the reading is if she's going to have an opportunity to move. Is she going to move? That depends entirely on her, because she may have the opportunity, but she may decide not to do so, because Tarot doesn't make decisions for you guys. None of the fortune-telling sciences does. Astrology doesn't make decisions for you. Numerology doesn't make a decision for you. Oracle cards doesn't make decisions for you. None of it does. Although I do have a way to check. Ginger, do you agree to make you a Lenormand draw instead of tarot draw? Do you agree to it? I will wait a couple of minutes for your answer. And if not, I will proceed with the tarot draw. Maruka? Yeah, that is because of the R, isn't it? It's because the Latin speaking languages, they cannot say, they have R, they don't have the R sound. Which is, okay, so let me get the cards. Just hold on a second, I'm gonna get the cards. All right, so let's have a look. I'm not happy with it, Pisces Moonbeam. I definitely could have done a better job with the readings. I mean, the general readings, I definitely could have done a better job. So what was the question? If you're gonna move out, what was the question? Let's have a look. Well, this is these are the cards, okay, and in regards to it, they divulge some kind of a grief. All right, they do divulge some kind of a grief, and that will be the conditions under which you are going to move. Okay, the conditions are going to be grief, unfortunately. So, yeah. Yeah, you are going to be moving from your home, but not in a good way, right? It's not going to be a pleasant moving at all. Let me do your tarot reading though. Yeah, those are the cards. It's not going to be a pleasant moving, and in fact, according to the tarot, um, these are the four cards for you, Ginger. This move is going to be pretty much made for you, right? I mean, it's you don't get to choose when and where. It will pretty much going to be chosen for you here. Now, the good thing about what tarot is showing up, it is that you can diminish very much the negative consequences, and also a good news, it is that you are to be helped. Okay, this isn't the time where you should play brave, all right, and where you should play indomitable. As soon as a help is proposed to you from your children, for example, from your friends, definitely gotta take it, because otherwise, it's not gonna be easy on you. It's not gonna be easy on you. Oh, so your true name is Maria. Okay. But this is why I don't do Lenormand anymore. Okay, because it's they show what they show. You can't do anything about it, and I don't have to convince you guys. I do know that they work. I mean, because there was that time that I used them for every single day. I asked, what is going to be the most significant thing that is going to happen to me the next day? And they show it up. And there were times the day was so bizarre, and I said, yeah, sure, you know, that can never happen. But it happens. And they showed that few times, which happened, and I just buried them down for a long time. I believe 4 years maybe. But recently, I had that client which had these questions that couldn't be answered with tarot, and you know the only way I could have answered those questions was through the Grand Tableau from a Lenormand reading. That is a really sophisticated big reading from Lenormand that pretty much shows you your future events there, and so on and so forth. And you know, I do wonder about stuff that can show up. For example, sickness could come up, you know, death could come up, loss of a job, you know, these kind of stuff, and you can't do much about it. I mean, you just have to sit there and take it, because unlike tarot, where tarot describes, you know, the journey of your soul, these cards, they show events that are there to happen. Nothing can be done about it. And you know, I pretty much brought them up. So yeah, Lenormandized me too. Just for that, I will. Okay, just for that, I will. And I'm gonna show you your. I'm. Oh my God. All right, just for that, I will. And I'm gonna ask them for the next important event that is gonna happen to you. All right, the next important event. They have no filter. Yes, in fact, you don't get to ask questions. You can ask a general question like I did, you know, what is the most important event, and they're going to show it. But you don't get to ask questions, for example, what should I do, and these kind of stuff. That's not how they work. They work pretty much show me the future, they show you the future. That's that. Right, Rem. Oh my God. Right, so those are the cards. All right. And you are about to enter in a, there will be an, how can I say, a growth into your social circle that you're not going to like. Okay. There are going to be these annoying or straight away bad people that are making problems into the social circle that are going to come up. And you ain't going to like that. Is going to be the next significant and important event in your life. You have confusion? What do you mean? All right, guys. I think that is going to do it for today. Again, thank you so much for watching. It was really fun, and Rem caught me by surprise. All right, it was a really good one. I think that this is going to be for today. Thank you so much for watching. It was, and I do apologize about the quality of the readings. I personally am not happy with it. I definitely feel I could have done better, right? By interpreting the cards, by the translating the message of the cards to you. So if I had disappointed you in any way, I do apologize for it. And I will try to, how can I say, to improve for the next one. And I do think that Mercury retrograde has a lot to do with it. I know. I always preach that Mercury retrograde is there so we can blame something for our failures. But, you know, it's truly, I think I could have done better. So, yeah, that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you do want to catch me live next time as well, and be early into the stream, make sure you do subscribe for the channel, hit the notification bell as well so you get yourself notified about my future live streams, and also being up to date with the weekly content of the live stream, oh my god, of my YouTube channel, which are a weekly general tarot readings for all of the star signs. And yeah, I mean, if you do want a personal reading or taking up my tarot classes, you can check out the description down below. There you're going to find a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. And with that being said, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. It was a true honor to be your host, and we're going to see each other next time. Till then, bye.